to pray. There's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kira's show here. Now then, whenever we last left off, Deku and Todoroki, they had just been talking, and Todoroki let out all of his pent-up issues and problems that would have eventually turned into daddy issues and trauma. Now, with that, the social worker would have heard about how Todoroki basically said that his dad wasn't the one who caused the scar. Now, this would basically lead the social worker to think it was it was probably Todoroki's mom, because her mental state was not exactly good. Now then, with that, basically, she would be off. Now, Todoroki would stay with Deku for probably another week or so. Somewhat actually starting to not embrace his fire, but he's not afraid of it, as he will at least hold it into his hand and stare at it for a second. But he still doesn't want to try and use it, as he feels like just using that would just help Endeavor. Now, he knows for a fact Endeavor's not a pro anymore, making Deku's mom the number 2 hero now, and Deku's dad the number 3 hero. Now then, with that being said, this is whenever Deku, he's just telling Todoroki that, you don't have to use your quirk like that, but at least regulate it. Huh? Well, you're a half and half quirk, right? So those halves work together, right? Yeah, I'm guessing so. Why? Well, it's just half fire and half ice. Your quirk, from what my mom has been telling me and explaining about mine, is that it has a physical limitation. So if you use too much ice, do you just get colder? Or if you were to use too much heat, would you just pass out from heat stroke? I'm not sure if it works like that exactly. Now then, with that being said, this is whenever the social worker would come by again, talking with Todoroki and actually asking him if he feels safe here. He would just say yes, actually. In fact, Deku, or Midoriya, is one of his best friends, which she's quite surprised to hear. From what she's heard about this boy being so isolated is he's never had friends. So taking that away from him may not be a very good option, as not only has he been through trauma, but from a lot of what Fuyuma, his sister, and, looking deeper into things, Endeavor might actually be guilty of murder. Now, what I mean by guilty of murder is Dabi. He would probably have gone missing around this point in the anime, if not in the manga, because, the timeline, that's better. Because I believe it was Dabi's alleged death that sent her over the edge of insanity, causing her to scar Todoroki. Now, with that, she would basically tell Inko and Hisashi that she'll allow him to stay here, but they are basically also going to have to be... Essentially, they might actually have to get a little more blood, which Deku would not understand. They would just say that they understand because there's actually quite a lot of people who donate. The local hospitals basically would send it over to the hero organization, and we would have to go there and pick it up. Now, Deku, he hears about that, and that basically explains where all his meals come from. The hero organization does have heroes who have blood quirks. So it would make sense that some of them would donate blood. Especially knowing the fact that they do help one of the top heroes is actually quite interesting for them. Now, Deku, not Deku, but actually yes, Deku and Todoroki actually. We are going to cut to a couple months later. Now, at this point, Todoroki's mom, she has actually been going through a lot of different therapy. In fact, she was actually locked up in an asylum for a little bit of time. But after basically seeing and visiting her a couple times there, she would have somewhat come back. Now, she's not, well, 100%, but the mind state she was in, she was only functioning at about 10% of rationality, if not around 5. There is still some there as she still sees reasons behind her actions. Basically like her thinking that if she were to get rid of that side of Todoroki's face, where his fire side is, or at least scar it, she will get rid of Endeavor in him. That was basically what she was doing. Now, she would basically see Todoroki and she would actually apologize to him, saying that she just couldn't stand to see what would happen if he dug into you that deep. What? He wanted you to kill All Might, or at least take his place as the number one hero. He didn't believe he could do so. So that's why you were born. Todoroki would understand, and let us cut to the next year. Todoroki and Deku are in middle school. Not middle school, they are still 7 years old. Too far. Now, they are still in, 8 years old, if not, I believe, 7 years old. Yeah, let's go with 8. Now, Deku, he is sitting at the back of the class as he has on his hood. A lot of people will be staring at him and they're basically wondering why he's wearing that weird getup on the first day, as he quite simply has the school tie and the school shirt over this. Now, that being said, they are basically talking and a lot of people are whispering as Todoroki would walk in. A lot of people remember about Endeavor a couple years ago and how there is a scar on his face, as a lot of people still don't know what happened with that. Todoroki would take a seat next to Deku as he would just tap on Deku's shoulder. Deku would just look over as Todoroki and him began talking. They were pretty confused as Deku and Todoroki would go out throughout the day until a girl would interrupt their conversation. This girl is Momo Yayorozu. Now, she would just quite simply ask them, or at least ask Deku exactly why he's wearing all that. Deku would just say that he can explain after lunch. But, best story, or, well, you wouldn't really understand it unless I showed you everything. Everything. Well, his quirk's a bit complicated. It has a drawback. As Momo was just sitting there in class trying to figure this all out in her head. Now, I can actually see her being that one who's very questionable, or at least very... If she doesn't know the answer to something, she will figure it out. Or annoy herself until she does. Now, that would happen and everyone would be having lunch, as Deku would pull out a thermos and immediately start drinking from it. People are watching as he does so, and whenever he does, they would actually see him actually take this netting off and actually just do so. Deku is still looking out the window as, finally, the sun would be fully overhead. As soon as that happens, he would immediately just take off his hood as everyone turns around seeing him. He would just immediately bring his hand up, just grabbing his hair and scooping it out of his eyes, as people are somewhat freaked out. What's wrong with him? Oh, what the hell? He's only pale, and his eyes are red. What's up with him? Huh. Figures. Although I did think he would have a scar or something. At least like the other guy. Hey, shut up! As Todoroki would immediately turn his head. Now, this is whenever Deku would just say, "Oh, I don't think you guys know who I am. Allow me to properly introduce myself. My name is Izuku Midoriya." Wait, why does that name sound familiar? Ugh. Well, it kinda should. My parents are top heroes. Parents? Wait, both of them? Ah. His dad is the, well, cloaked hero, and his mom is, as someone would immediately jump up saying that his mom's the number two hero. I forgot her name right now. It is very, very hard to remember. I've been up for way too long. Jesus. Now, people would basically be talking about this, and they're actually just really interested. As people are running up to Deku, basically asking him his quirk, he would just bring his hands up, asking people if they can calm down. Now, basically, he has trained his quirk, but it's a bit difficult. But since I just ate, it's not going to be very hard to control it. Control? I'm a vampire. What? Yeah. It's public knowledge that both my parents, they drink blood in order to help their quirks. Not just that, with the fact that they got married specifically because of their quirks, but they actually do love each other and connect. I somewhat have a normal childhood. Aside from drinking blood, catching myself on fire every time I walk outside without this, and, well, not sleeping sometimes is weird, but I kinda got used to it. People are just in awe and staring at Deku, as Momo is just writing everything she can down. Basically, vampire. Wait, so you're weak to sunlight, right? Yes. And your quirk is what exactly? Vampire. That's not at all specific. As Deku would just say, he has increased strength, speed, durability. He has heightened reflexes and heightened senses along with regeneration. That is quite a lot to pack into one sentence. Yes, I know. That's why I just stick with vampire. Most of them I've seen in their genres are already stronger and more durable than humans. Or people. Anyways, as Deku, he would just say that he could go the rest of the class period, but as he just pulls up his hood, he would rather not. Now, as he's doing that, he would actually slip in his earbuds, somewhat listening to music. Now, people would basically pay no mind to him, but they're still very curious. So Deku, he's considered to be popular, but just the way his appearance is, somewhat throws people off to where they are actually a bit more intimidated by him, as they think he just wears that to wear it, along with the fact that the school allows it. Now, one day, let's say that there was a guy from a different classroom. He's actually messing around and doing a lot of different things. Actually, let's say this happens during gym class. This works a lot better. Everyone is working out inside as Deku is not wearing his suit at all today. Now, people are still staring at him as he does look somewhat muscular. I want to say he looks around. There's not even a good representation of this. He just looks like a very, very. He looks like he runs a lot, especially for an 8-year-old. No. Deku, he's basically just doing laps, and everyone's somewhat having trouble, as Deku just keeps lapping and lapping and lapping them. Basically, they would have ran 3 50-meter laps, if not 4 or 5, while Deku's literally about to hit his 100th. Now, Deku would have done so, and he would have actually just gone over sitting down, as people are just asking how is he not exhausted. I do a lot of training. Are you serious? What do you do? As Deku would just go on listing the basics, they're still intrigued. Now, some guys are actually getting jealous, and they would actually sneak into the locker room, taking Deku's outfit and basically walking outside, tossing it into the middle of the field. They wouldn't have taken his clothes that he wears underneath, but just the important thing, like the jacket with the hood. Now, after this happened, they would basically just think, if he's gonna lie about his quirk, might as well see it. Now, they would all walk back in as Deku. He would slip on his shirt and he's now looking for his jacket, along with his gloves. He cannot find it. He's somewhat freaking out as he's just asking people if they've seen it, because he can't really go outside without it. Now, one of them would just say that, oh, I think I've seen it, it's outside. Why is it outside? Did you put it outside? Well, actually, yes, I did. I wanted to see for myself. Are you really a vampire? I've explained this to you. My quirk is vampire. Well, you said you have a weakness to sunlight. I don't believe it. I want to see it for myself. As Todoroki would immediately just barge up, he would start walking outside. Deku would just tell him, no, he has it. As he would just look outside and immediately look into the sunlight. As his skin would get burnt, he would just immediately just back away. And the guy would somewhat see this, as it regenerates. Now, the guy is somewhat hesitant to believe him, as he thinks that that's just a fluke. As Deku immediately just steps completely out into the sunlight, as he just begins walking over. The guy actually watches as Deku's doing so, and he would actually start sparking and, well, he's already smoking, but he starts sparking with fire. As while he's walking over, he's actually coughing and having quite a bit of trouble as his entire shirt just catches. As soon as that happens, Todoroki would actually be running over, and Momo would immediately just tackle him to the ground with a fireproof blanket, putting him out and telling him to stay under. Now, the guy is somewhat horrified at what he just did because he did not believe him. But now he's somewhat forced to, as he would have been heavily scolded and told that if Deku didn't have regeneration, then he may have actually gotten seriously injured. Along with the fact that there are some pros that want to talk to you, as Deku's mom and dad would walk into the room, giving a bit of a better explanation onto their quirks. As this is whenever Hasashi would immediately basically run up to him, and he would immediately just do one thing. You know, most people like you. You're bitter, you're ugly, you're annoying. But kid, I will ask you one thing. Do you know how hard it is to control the urge to eat something? Especially because you are almost starving for it, if not craving it all the time. Do you know? No, not really. Well, how do you think we feel? We have to consume and drink human blood. Do you think we like doing that? No, I never said you did. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Drinking from a blood bag tastes like shit. Now, drinking from the source. I've never done that. But I hear it's quite entertaining. As he just jumps forward, scaring the boy out of the room. Now, the principal would have basically allowed this as it allows Deku's parents to basically scare the kid straight, as he would stop messing with Deku. Deku is basically lying in the nurse's office as he is basically drinking blood. Now, he's actually healing, and they would ask him why he exactly did that. He didn't think I would do it. So I did it. Yeah, but you nearly died. No, I wouldn't have died. My regeneration was about to kick in, but I didn't expect Momo to tackle me to the ground. So, that was your grand plan? Do what? Grab it and run back inside? Well, actually, kinda. I also expected you to kind of freeze me sooner. Wait, so you were relying on me to just stop you? Well, yes, actually. As Todoroki would immediately facepalm. You cannot be serious. Jesus, what is wrong with you? As they would both go home. Now, whenever they do get home, Todoroki would actually be in shock as he sees his mother. She's actually standing right outside. As Todoroki, he would immediately just burst into tears. He would run over and actually hug his mom, seeing her for the first time in a few months. During that time, she was basically released from the asylum, but she was still considered somewhat not mentally stable. So she was put into a somewhat, I believe they're called halfway homes, but I'm not sure if that's exactly what you can call this. But she was basically getting mental treatment there and actually talking to quite a bit of people, as she did a lot of mental healing, along with the fact that she was deemed insane by the courts, and they would have actually ruled in favor to let her see her child again. Along with the fact that Inko and Hasashi were basically told that if they suspect or even think she's doing anything to their child, well, to Todoroki, or even, well, hitting him or doing basically like abusing Todoroki or doing whatever is considered abuse, that they can immediately just say something about it and she will basically be brought back to not even square one, square zero, where she will never see her kid again. Basically, Inko and Hasashi will be given full custody over Todoroki. Now, I want to say that while that is happening, this is whenever she would walk inside and actually make tea. She'd be making tea and, well, Todoroki's somewhat having PTSD flashbacks. I'm joking. She would have actually walked inside and actually make some food, as she would sit down with Todoroki and they would begin eating. Now, that is actually where I'm going to leave things off, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and have an amazing day. I will catch you guys later. Actually, I'm just going to go to sleep. Yeah. I want to say with that hour-long special, that is considered 6 episodes. I'm not even sure. I consider it